welcome to a new episode of the Good Night Podcast. I'm your co-host Amirez, and I'm joined live
And I'm
from
Gabriel.
the UK.
Gabriel Massey.
Gabe O'Massey, the one and only Gabriel O'Massey. Hey Gabriel, happy St. Patrick's Day, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
You live in the land of those people.
Well, sort of. There wasn't really much of a celebration at all. Like, no one really does anything for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, there's not like Montreal is the big part. Is probably the biggest in the world. That in Boston, and Ireland, but in London, in England, not really. Like, no one really does anything. I think England doesn't really like the Irish too much.
That's interesting. So they they celebrate St. Patrick's Day by just getting drunk, but they don't call it St. Patrick's Day. It's just it's Monday.
It's Monday. Yeah. The weekend was a little intense. There was a lot of partying, but I think it's just regular London is just crazy, just like nonstop. Like we went. It was not someone we know's birthday, but it was like a friend of Claire's friend. That he was turning 40 years old. And this is kind of interesting. Like, he's turning 40 years old, and the way he celebrated his birthday is by performing, doing, like, he's like a musician, and he put on a free concert for everybody. And I was like, oh, that was pretty cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I did that on my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I guess what people do. On their birthday, they get all their friends, and then they get a nice audience to laugh at all their stuff. And for us, we rocked out. We're like...
When's your birthday again?
Rocked out, baby. In
When's
August.
Your birthday? August what?
Yeah, August 2nd.
Are you going to be in Montreal?
And yours is October 19th. No,
October 12th. But close. Close?
Yeah. Am I going to be in
pretty
Montreal?
close.
I don't know. Sometime in August I'll be in Montreal. I don't know if it's going to be on my birthday though.
Wanna have a comedy show on your birthday?
If I'm in Montreal, sure, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I have tickets literally for tomorrow. That's the only tickets I have right now. I don't have tickets for in August yet.
It's true. Well, hopefully you'll keep coming back, buddy.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm getting more and more of those hangry guy gigs, which makes it easier.
Yeah.
Like the gigs I'm doing when I come back pay for my ticket basically, which is nice, you know?
Oh,
So
that's nice.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, cool. It's almost like a free trip, you know, and I can still continue working. Like I'll work, but also do those couple of gigs and then do more.
Are you
I'm
gonna
doing
release the
La
bagel
Belle
one?
Provence.
You got La Belle Provence?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, La Belle. But it's, you know, they're franchises, you know? So it's not
Yeah.
like the Belle Provence. It's like just one guy's Belle Provence. It's like
One guy's Belle Provence. Okay. Not like it's not McDonald's that hired you.
No.
It's John from the McDonald's in Rosemont. He's like La Belle Provence. Okay. It was pretty good. Dude, if you do a great one, other Belle Provences will like, hey, come eat our hot dogs.
Yeah, I know. I'm releasing the bagel video on Thursday.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, guys. Watch it. Add the hangry guy. Oh my god, it's
so
controversial.
Good. It's such a delicious. Yeah, I say so. It's this bagel. I think we already talked about this. It's a bagel with smoked meat. It's so good. I change it a little bit. I change it because bagels are more international, right? Like New York has bagels. London has bagels, Montreal has bagels, Toronto has bagels, but not everywhere has smoked meat. So smoked meat is very niche. So I kind of rephrased it to be more like bagel-centric. And then the smoked meat is just the cherry on top, you know? And then, oh, God, I love it.
Did you say that you find it juicier than the Montreal smoked meat?
I say that as a Montrealer, I can safely say this rivals anything I can find in my hometown.
Oh,
isn't that like
controversial?
It's nice. It's almost like that's like as controversial as the new Prime Minister, Mike Carney. Like he says shit like that. He's like, that is the most, like he talks like it's so reasonable, but he's like dropping knowledge, but he's like sounds like a professional. He sounds like a doctor. You know?
He looks smart. He sounds smart,
Yeah.
but the name Carney does not bring out the best feelings toward people. He has to change his name to like Mike Artist or something, because Mike Carney. Carney is
or Mike
what's a
Money,
carny, right? Mike, no, but you know what's a carny, right?
Yeah, like they work in the carnivals. They were like
they work in the carnival.
They like move.
They have all these games that they like. Oh yeah, win a big teddy bear if you put the ring in the bottle, but it's nearly impossible. So they just get your money. They take your money. They screw the artists or whatever. Yeah, so Carney, he needs to change his name.
I worked with a guy
something
named
Indian.
Singh.
Something Indian to fit in with the new Canadian population. Mike Singh.
Mike Singh. I worked with a guy. His last name was Carney, and he was probably the most biggest screw up I ever met. Like he was like, I forgot how old he was. He was kind of like a cool dude, but he would get so wasted that he would wake up, no joke, in dumpsters. Like he would wake up. He said that he was late for work one day, and we were like. He didn't have a cell phone because he was such a lunatic. He never had a cell phone, and he comes to work like 3 hours late. This is at the bar he used to work at, and like we just see him sitting on like the outside, like in the back. There's like a staircase that people just sit on, smoke cigarettes. We just hear like sounds coming from the back, and we see him, and he's tying his shoelaces into his shoes, and we're like, "Where the hell were you, man?" And he's like, I just woke up. I woke up in jail, he said. I'm like, oh my God, he woke up in jail. And then he got a hot tip to move to Alberta because it was like the oil rush. And he made money, and then it crashed. And then he came back, and he was just back to his stupid, like just waking up in garbage cans and getting his ass like, lunatic, this guy, like everything. I have a picture of him holding 2 knives, and I'm like, this guy might stab you. Like he was joking, but he had 2 giant knives, like in the kitchen, because he worked in the kitchen. If you work in a kitchen in a pub, 90% of the time you're a lunatic. You're evil. Like you're almost on the verge of stabbing someone.
Aren't you happy these people get jobs? Honestly, like I'm so happy. People like the manager of that bar looked at him and he went, "Yeah, he would be great in the kitchen." He saw this insanely human creature walking into his pub, and he's like, "Buddy, you're part of this bar's family now. Come on in." That's insane.
Well, what happens?
I'm so happy.
People don't know this. This is an insider scoop. Okay, so every person you see working in the kitchen. Every person started as a dishwasher. And if you didn't get fired from being a dishwasher, you get promoted to working in the kitchen. This is everywhere that isn't a nice restaurant is like this. Like if it's anywhere you see food and then it's not like the waiter's like, "Hello, monsieur." And every other restaurant, it's all crackheads and like junkies in the kitchen.
And all of a sudden, by just washing the dishes, you're like, oh, I guess we can trust him by making recipes?
So don't think of it as recipes. Think of it as an assembly line, right?
Oh.
It's like...
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just flipping burgers and putting fries in things. Yeah, exactly. So it's nothing much to it, you know?
Good to know. Ooh, what are you drinking?
Yeah, some wine.
Wine?
Look at these little glasses.
Oh my God, you're a wine guy now? What happened? Hey,
sometimes I just
wine.
don't like. I'm sick of drinking. Like I don't like drinking as much anymore. I just like a little bit. I'm turning into like a gay man.
You're holding it with
like
the
a
2
little
fingers. Oh well, listen.
It's
You're hanging out with your wife 99% of the time. It's gonna rub off. You're gonna become a little effeminate and drink wine like this. It happens. Oh man!
I headlined my first show yesterday.
You what?
Yeah, I headlined my first show yesterday.
My N-word. So
in London.
High five. High five.
Yeah.
High five. High five.
Yeah. It was like, you know, like our version of headliner, like at the Good Night Show. Like it's like, the guy does 15 minutes at the end, you know? But it was
Ah,
fun. Yeah, it was good.
nice. How many did you do? How long?
Yeah,
How
it
many
was great.
minutes?
15, just 15.
Woo! How was it?
Yeah, it was good. Great. Yeah, I did a bunch of new. I have like, because I'm always on the train, so like it's my version of airplane jokes. So I have all these train jokes and stories just being on the train. I have all these train. It's like my version of the subway, like New York subway. Like
Yeah.
to me, it's new. I'm like, ooh.
it's yeah, we comedians, we have a thing, we have a lot of jokes about modes of transportation. If you're like a
Yeah.
national headliner, you have airplane jokes. If you're a
Yeah.
New York comic, you have subway jokes. And if you're a London comic, you have buses and train jokes. I was on the
Yeah.
train the other day, and let me tell you something, guys. Yeah, that's funny. That's interesting. I have jokes about my penis because that's the only thing I think about apparently these days.
It's as long as a
Crazy.
train.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
I did a show. Oh, listen to this. This was so funny. It was so stupid. I did a show. I did a corporate show for like a fundraiser for a school, and they had prizes that
Okay.
they were, a raffle prizes. And I was looking at the raffle prizes, and I look at one, and it's a basket. I'm like, oh, that's nice, a basket. And I look, and it was a basket of vegetables.
Oh.
I've seen baskets of fruit, but
Yeah.
baskets of vegetables? Who wants like? Ooh,
I
I
know.
want Brussels sprouts. I'm like, is this? Who complained? Who complained to HR that fruit? It's not. Oh, fire this person!
I know,
A basket-
fruit.
Fruit is
Yeah.
delicious.
Fruit is the standard. Fruit is standard, and then if you're fancy, you'll get like edible arrangements or like chocolates.
Yeah, dude, I swear there was like a bouquet of broccoli as like the center. I'm like, ooh,
Ew.
look at. Who wants to eat tomatoes from Provigo? I was
garlic.
like, ooh, give me a pineapple. Give me a dragon
Yeah.
fruit. Give me a star fruit. Give me like some. What? It had those
It
like
must be cheaper.
violin heads. It's
Yeah.
it's disgusting. No, someone must have complained. I was so disappointed. Like, what is this? What's happened? Is this the new work environments that people have to navigate in?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I won because they don't. Maybe fruit is offensive to some people, so we have to the people with diabetes. So we have to give vegetables
People
now.
with diabetes. I couldn't.
So
I don't
weird.
know. I do like a good. I do like cauliflower makes me like reason, but broccoli makes me feel great. So I don't understand. Like, what's up with that? Like, why they're basically the same. They're like the
I
same
think
thing.
it's the
but
color
one
green.
makes me like kind
The
of
color green makes you feel good. That's the only difference. It's
Hey,
the color
look at
green. So funny. I saw Guillaume. I saw my friend a couple of weeks ago. He's like, "Hey, Amir, I've been watching your clips online, and you're always wearing the same shirt." I'm like, "Yeah, I like it. It's my podcast shirt." He's like, "Hey, just so you know, you look like a right wing, flat earther. Vaccines are bad." With your shaved head and your beard, and you look like I like the military. Ugh. I'm like, really? Is that the vibe I give? I'm like Alex
look like Jocko.
Jones. I wish I looked like that. Let me just bust my ears. I do wake up at 4 in the morning every day. It's night sweats because I ate too much before we're going to sleep.
It's your Casio watch or whatever you like those like.
I wake up heartburn, sweating because I ate too many nachos the day before. I'm like, all right, let me take a photo of my
I know.
time.
That's your PTSD. It's like, oh, I ate too much.
I'm trying to be healthy, and so here's what I did. As you know, I like taking supplements. I'm a big supplements guy because I don't eat healthy. So I did this. I asked ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, here's what I take as a supplement: vitamin D, iron, copper, zinc, magnesium, curcumin, blah blah blah. What should I add? And then ChatGPT calculated. It's like, oh, you should add some boron. I'm like, what is boron? So boron, it's a trace mineral. It's in the periodic table of elements. So now I take boron.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you know you're 41. When your body goes, you need boron. And now I'm boring. I do puns
It kind
now.
of
I'm a
sounds like,
dad
you know,
without
like
being children.
yeah. Imagine they're like blood, like, you know, like those blood minerals where like those kids in Africa are digging just to like get your blood sugar normal. You're taking boron. It sounds like what they put in like the cell phones, like, you know, that mineral, like, or whatever.
Dude, at this point, maybe I should just do what the rich people are doing and take children's blood into my system. If I'm taking minerals dug out by children in Africa, just give me their blood. Honestly, I think they would appreciate it better. Just give me their blood so I can like feel rejuvenated like that guy who wants to live forever.
Yeah.
And let these kids not
Yeah.
get
What's his
boron.
name? Yeah.
He's weird. Have you seen him?
Yeah. He's like the old guy, Ray Kurzweil, right?
No. He looks very young. He looks healthy. He has like great hair. Tried to sell his
Yeah, I've
supplements.
seen him. Yeah. I've seen him too. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He looks like a vampire,
Yeah,
which is
yeah, it's
crazy
true.
because
Like
vampires
young-
live forever.
Yeah, but vampires are hot. This guy is like like a plasticky man or something, like waxy.
I have a theory. Vampires are hot because every vampire we've seen is like 300 years old. So after 300 years, I'm assuming you mastered charm. However, I think if,
Yeah.
let's say, you just become a vampire, like 2 days later, you're still like, hi. You're just an awkward
hi.
autistic vampire. So for like 100 years, you're an autistic vampire. And then you're like, ooh, I need to learn. You read the game.
Yeah, the game. I was
You
gonna say. Yeah.
You read 50 Laws of Power or whatever, Robert Greene's book. And then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, now I know. Like Models by Mark Ronson. I'm just naming the books that I've read.
Yeah.
And they haven't worked. But he had time to perfect them. Like, all right, I can't do it in France anymore. I failed at trying to pick up every single woman. Let me take a boat to New Orleans or something and try again
It's
there.
true. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'll try that.
So he's a new vampire. That guy. That guy is he just became. It's his first time being a vampire. So that's why he looks like a vampire, but he's not charming and cool. He's trying.
Yeah.
But we can read through his. I think in 100 years he's gonna be perfect. He's gonna be like, hello, buy my supplements. They are the best.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be dead
You
like all
need-
of us.
You need boron. More. Let me suck the boron out of you. More. Boron. Dude, he took blood from his son. He's a vampire.
That's creepy. What does blood do? Blood is gross.
Yeah, but he doesn't
It's
drink
gross.
it. He doesn't drink it. He puts it in his body.
Oh, that's weirder. It's easier to
Yeah,
drink.
I guess, but I don't know if I think he took his son's blood because young people's blood is better, and I think he put it in his blood, and it just made him healthier.
Yeah.
He never sees the sun because the sun apparently it's not
Jeez.
great for you.
I
so
thought
he
the
gets,
sun is
like,
good.
those
Don't
red
you
lights.
supposed to? Yeah. God.
Yeah.
Okay. Like those.
So
You get it like artificially.
yeah, so he is a vampire. He is a vampire. That's a
Yeah.
vampire. He's super white.
I guess.
He's super healthy. He's gonna live forever. He's a vampire. All
Don't
Dracula
vampires
needed to
kill
do.
people?
Yeah. Well, I don't know where he gets his blood every day. I guess his son must be tired one day.
That's true.
He's a modern vampire. Would you want to live forever?
I don't know, man. No, oh man, I wish I remembered. I read this, not book, like a long time ago. There was this comic book about a guy that lives for. Oh, Sandman. You ever watch Sandman? There's the TV show Sandman that was on Netflix. You ever watch that? That's
I think
a
I watched
really,
that episode
really,
and I found it
really good
bad.
show.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude,
Take it back.
that shows because the source code is unreal. It's not the source code. The source material is unreal. Like it's from an old, like not old, from the 90s. There's like this comic book So each comic is unrelated to the other. They're not all connected. It's all just like, so that's why the TV show doesn't connect to the other every episode. Every episode is totally disconnected because it's about this guy that lives throughout history. He's kind of like a god and he interacts with beings on the planet. And so at one point, Sandman, he's like kind of bored, right? And he
Wait,
asks,
correct.
he meets this
Sorry. I'm
guy-
gonna interrupt you. What's the Sandman?
Yeah,
What's the
think
Sandman?
he's like he's like, I don't know what it is. He's like a god. He's like just a dude that like, there's many different types of gods that have different powers. He has some sort of power. I don't remember.
'Cause
It's been so long. I read.
You
this
know
in,
what I
like,
thought the
college.
Sandman was? The
Mm.
Sandman. You ever heard about like in Chicago or whatever? You would go do a show, and if you bomb, someone would like drag you out with a cane.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the Sandman. I'm like, is that the guy dragging people?
That's the
Okay. So it's just a god. Okay. So this god, yeah,
yeah.
like a creature
So
with superpowers.
Yeah, but he looks like a guy. He looks like a cute guy. He looks like he's all like, he's all moody, you know. And then he meets like this dude like from like 3000 BC, right? And he's like, oh, do you want to something like he ends up like making a wager with him, being like, do you want to like you will live forever, but we need to meet every 100 years, and then you need to tell me if you want to live or die. So he's like, okay, fine. And so he he's alive, and then he survives, stays the same age for 100 years, meets the guy at the same bar, and he's like, do you want to live or die? He's like, oh no, you kidding me? It's great. Like I made a ton of money, like I'm killing it. He's like, okay, I'll see you in another 100 years. Then another 100 years goes by, and he's like lost all his money. He's broke. He's been living on the streets for 100 years. And he's like, do you want to die now? He's like, no, I want to continue living. And then he goes through so many different like iterations of like how horrible or amazing his life is, and it's like thousands of years later. At one point, he was like trapped under the ocean for like 100 years because he got like kidnapped or something. So, and then it cuts to like 2025, right? And he's like in the same pub from that era in England, and then apparently he's like, he has all this wisdom. He's like, I've learned it's all about the simple things in life. And he's like, has a book, you know, and like he drinks like wine out of a glass like me now, you know, and then he
See, he's
continues
charming.
to live. Yeah.
He knows how to pick up women now.
Yeah. But it's worth watching. It's a very interesting because it's like goes through such detailed like parts of this guy's life, but it all takes place in the bar, and it's him telling the story of how horrible his life went. It's interesting over the 100
I
years.
think I've watched it. So
Yeah,
would you?
it's
Would
like
you
a-
live? Would you? Would you? Live
Yeah,
forever?
yeah, for sure. Kidding me?
Option. You have the option of living forever at this age, or you get reincarnated. So you live a life fully. You get to experience all ages, from 0 to 85 or whatever. You die,
Mm-hmm.
and then you start again in a new body, and then you get to do that again, and then you die. But
Do
you
I
don't
remember? Do I remember my past?
No.
It's all about the remember. I need to remember. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you need to remember. You think, is there so many things you want to remember? What do you want to remember?
But like, how do I know then? I'm like, it's just like I'm dying. There's no immortality there. I'm just
Yeah, but
dead.
you get reincarnated. You
But
don't wanna
it'll be
experience
like-
old age.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't care. Like what? I don't want to be that old. Like if I can choose not to, if I can choose to be like, you know, if I can stay 25, maybe not 25, maybe 32, maybe 34.
No. I've heard it once, and I thought it was very smart. He says, if you're gonna live forever, don't choose anything before the age of 40, because when you're young and you're 25, your body produces so much testosterone, and you're horny all the time. You're not chasing glory. Very few people
Yeah.
at that age of 25 have that wisdom, like chase being the best at something. But when you're 40, your body has settled down a bit. You're not as attractive as you were when you were young. You're a man. You have your priorities straight. So 40 is the perfect age so for immortality, I think.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
If
That's cool. That's
I want to
interesting.
be this age. I want to be this age with my bald head and broken joints and bad asshole. That's I want to live like that forever. That's I don't want it.
Damn.
I don't want
I guess
before. I
so.
don't want after. Yeah. I would like to if I was sure because Buddhists they truly believe in reincarnation. They're like the same way you
Hmm.
believe that you breathe through your nose or your mouth. They believe, oh yeah, 100%. I'm gonna be reincarnated. That must be so freeing to like, oh well,
Mm.
I'll fix it up in my next
That is
life.
nice. That's easy. Also, Buddhists, they don't do much anyway in their own life, so it's not like it could be.
Wait,
It's a
what?
lot to.
Wait.
They're just
Let's
sitting. They're
back
just
up.
sitting down. They're just sitting. They're like, I'm sitting. Like if you handed a Buddhist
I'm
Nintendo Switch, it's basically like a nerd at that point, like a couch potato.
so when you see a Buddhist monk, he goes, I'm in his head. He's going sitting.
Yeah.
I'm sitting. He's present. I'm sitting.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
present. Yeah.
Have you
I
ever
can't. I need to
meditated?
go for a run. Have I ever
They're all
meditated? I don't think.
okay.
I
Let's meditate now. You ready?
never have I
Let's
meditated.
lose
I
every single listener.
Oh, I have. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I have meditated in the past. Yeah. Just maybe like 2 or 3 times just to like try it, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not in the right. I don't. Maybe I don't require it as much as some people require it. You know.
Well, I thought about. It's funny how we bring it. I thought about it a few days ago. Art. What we do, observing, whether we're observing on the inside or on the outside, requires to be fully aware of your surrounding and of your inside. If you feel something, you're like, oh, that's
Mhm.
funny, I'm gonna write a joke about it. If you see something, so to be able to get out of your thoughts and be in the present moment to capture these ideas
Yeah.
requires you to be present. So the way people meditate is like,
Hmm.
oh, just focus on your breath. That's like a first step. Because I told you, I
Yeah.
went for a silent meditation retreat and they taught me how to meditate. The secret of meditation is to just bypass your thoughts. To At first
Hmm.
you observe your thoughts, and then all of a sudden you just try to feel present, just to feel everything. You're like an open nerve, and you're feeling everything. So I think
Wow.
actually meditation would make you a better artist. Just try to feel everything.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. Like if I had like a free few hours, like, but then it's like if you only have a free thing, you want to do something with it. You're like, oh, I want to go there, or I want to do this, or I want to like, because
Yeah.
if you have like a free time to meditate, I want to go for a run or like hug a dog or
Well, running is a form of meditation. Running is a
I
form of
guess so. But I'm
meditation.
listening to like Joe Rogan. I'm like, and it's just like it's not that
I'm
meditative.
running.
I'm running.
Yeah. Every day I tell myself I should do it just for 10 minutes because dude,
Hmm.
when I was doing it every day for like 10 hours a day, I was a different human
Yeah.
being, man.
Wow.
You
Damn.
learn how to do it. I was feeling fire inside. I was feeling like a burning flame consuming my body. I'm like, oh, I think I'm attaining a certain level of
Hmm.
and I remember I spoke with the guy who was teaching it, guru, if you want to say, at the end, because you can't speak for 2 weeks. And at the end, I spoke with him. I'm like, hey, now that we're back to talking, I find it difficult to attain those levels, those deep, deep levels of just full presence when I'm
Hmm.
meditating. He's like, yeah, that's life. You can't compare
Oh wow.
uh, being isolated for 2 weeks and not talking to everyone to your everyday life. So continue meditating, but know that to attain the levels you attained before, it's going to take you many years. You're going to have to come again and do more silent retreats, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a lot
Hmm.
about accepting. accepting your
Yeah.
just everything. So it's quite an interesting thing.
I do these breathing exercises sometimes that, especially like, so
Sorry. It's fun to be stupid with you, Gabe.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Tell me about your breathing
Yeah.
exercises.
Oh, yeah. So it's not meditation, but like, especially back in the day when I used to get like, because I used to wake up with panic attacks, like waking up with them. It's like I would be asleep and I would wake up and I would feel like I'd be drenched in sweat. I'd be like dizzy. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? My heart's racing. Just random, right? I'm like, and so like I found online these breathing and it's like, so I would say like, I would hear my breath, right? I would say, I hear my breath and I would breathe. And then I would focus on something in the room and I would hear like a tap, let's say a car driving by. I hear a car and I'd hear zzzz. And then I would tap like, let's say the window. Like I hear the tap of the window. And then I'm like, I would hear my breath and I would breathe. And I would do that for like 5 minutes and I would forget I had a panic attack and it would go away. I would just focus just on the breathing and like my surroundings.
That's meditating. That's
Yeah,
literally
I guess so.
meditating. That's literally meditating.
I got really good at it.
So, but
Like I literally
wow,
can
that's
control
amazing.
my anxiety. I can control my, yeah, I can, just by doing that now.
wow, the fact that you got good at it is amazing. Because most people they give up so quickly, but you needed to get good at it. But where did you get this
Yeah.
technique, dude? That's amazing. Where did you get this technique?
You want to know where I got it, dude? I got it. Remember that podcast in Montreal, the X podcast?
Yeah, the hot girls.
It was a reel, because the reel was the girl being like, because every time I'd see them, I'd be like, and then one of them was like, oh, I get really bad panic attacks, and I'm like, oh, I'm listening. And then she was like describing what she does, and I'm like, oh. So I looked up. She said it's called this. It's I don't know what it's called. It's called like the something technique. So I Googled it and I found an article on it, and I was just started practicing it. I'm like, oh, it helped. That was right.
We thought the Buddha was a fat Asian man. It's a hot girl doing a podcast. Never judge a book by its cover, man. That's the lesson.
I know.
Enlightenment can come from any hole. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we got a clip out of this. Oh, they're going to love that we talked about that. Do you remember if, because the podcast follows them, do you remember if it was the blonde girl or the brunette?
I don't know. It's like, I think like one of them quit, right? And then it was whoever was left over.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so it was the brunette. Hey, I have something to tell you. You ready?
Yeah.
I started seeing someone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
nice.
nice. Like on
I
a
know.
basis, like
Yeah. That's yeah. It's nice. It's
That's good.
It's
Wow.
interesting to have a woman in your life because you realize that you're insane. She's a feminist, like like modern women. Listen to this. Listen to this. So she's like when you start dating someone, you describe your life to them. So I was describing my life to her, and I was watching her face. So at the beginning, she's like, "Oh," and I just felt her face, just a worrisome face. She's like, "Oh," and she said something which I found hilarious. She's like, "Listen, I don't know, I don't want to say this, but Amr, I think you need a woman in your life." Which is so funny. It's so funny to hear from a feminist.
Yeah. Yeah, like
to have a
yeah, I know. It is funny because that is weird. Like you think that feminists would be like, I don't need men don't need me. We're all together.
Exactly. But like you need
Yeah.
someone with a vagina to help you fix your life. This is exactly what you need.
Whoa.
I find it very
I don't
funny.
know. It's gonna be a lot of. Yeah, that's interesting,
Yeah,
dude.
all of
Where
a
did you
sudden,
meet
I'm
her?
dressing better. Where?
Yeah.
I'll tell you later. Don't worry. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's very nice. I'm
Uh,
happy. It's interesting when you start dating
that's
someone
good.
and they like you, and they laugh at your jokes all the time, which is messing up
Ah.
my joke meter. Because I'm hilarious, and then I'm
Yeah.
going on stage with the jokes that made her laugh, and people are like, "It's not funny." I'm like, "Ah, damn it." I gotta
That's
stop
so funny.
making my girlfriend laugh. This is not helping my comedy. This is not helping my comedy.
Ah. Are you doing girlfriend boyfriend things like I don't know, like what the hell do people do?
Yeah. I'm going on dates. I took her to a shisha place. Oh, listen
Yeah.
to this. That's so
That's
funny.
good.
So I'm like, okay, let's go find a shisha place. I wanted to get out of downtown because parking is always a pain. So I found one in Ville Saint Laurent, the most Lebanese neighborhood in Montreal. And I found a shisha place, very well
Mhm.
rated online. I called them like, hey, can I have a reservation? It's Saturday night. They're like, yeah. We can't. We don't have space on the main floor, but we have space in the basement. I'm like, oh, okay, is the basement nice? She's like, oh, most people prefer the basement because it's more intimate, shisha, basement. I'm like, ooh, that would be interesting. Yeah, fine, let's do the basement. We get there, we go to the basement. Dude, it is someone's house. I'm in someone's basement. It was the most lit basement I have ever been to ever. If you think this is too much light for this podcast, dude, it's so well lit. I think we're gonna record a podcast there when you come to Montreal.
I was
Like,
gonna
it's
say that sounds
insane. There was
that sounds easy.
nobody.
Like just no setup. Just put the
No
camera
setup.
anywhere. It's perfect.
Yeah, there was. There must have been like 30 or 40 light bulbs attached to the ceiling. The room was so well lit because in my mind, a basement shisha would be like big comfy
Yeah.
couches, dim lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, Arabian night. It was. I'm like, dude, you can either smoke shisha in the room or perform heart surgery. That's how well lit this freaking shisha
Yeah.
place was. It was so funny. So funny. I'm like, I'm going to come back. I'm going to record a Shisha, by the way, delicious. Their mango juice, delicious.
Really?
We ordered
Oh,
like
good.
a crap. It was delicious. Perfect. But man, I
Nice.
think it's because it's an Arabic place. So they're like, okay, well, we can't have it be like a sex dungeon where couples go downstairs and they're like, no, it has to be well lit so Allah can see you. You cannot escape the light of Allah. It is Ramadan. Don't be haram. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's true. Ramadan. Dude, oh,
Yeah.
speaking of Ramadan, have you been getting these reels of it's like the weirdest reels for this place called I don't know where this place is, but I keep on getting the most insane reels from this burger restaurant. And it's this white family and they're sitting and they're like, "Oh my god, it's Ramadan. Oh, is this burger halal?" And then there's like the mom and she calls her son Halal Boy. Hey Halal Boy, are you eating Oh, and then or one but they're white. They look like whiter than me, like Jason Sellin, like person, like super white. And then the kids dressed normally. Then the next reel, he's in front of this giant burger and this girl comes and she's like, "Hey Halal Boy, what are you doing, Halal Boy?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm about to eat." And he's like, "But wait a minute, the fast hasn't broken yet." And he's like, "Darn, I guess I have to wait." And then it's like little the adventures of a little Halal Boy. It doesn't, and everyone in the comments are like, "What the like this white kid is being indoctrinated into like Muslim society." Just it's crazy.
It's like jihad, but like modernized for Instagram. It's like, we will win the West. Should we fly planes into to buildings? No. We will convert their children to Islam. First, we'll be the best at the UFC. Second, we'll get them through their stomach. We'll show them what a real man is. And then we'll show them a delicious burger. And they'll all convert to Islam. That's how they're getting us.
Dude, they look so good. Yeah.
Dude, don't do you watch the UFC a little?
I haven't since I don't know. No, not for at least a few months. I haven't at all.
Okay. So now in the UFC, I don't follow the UFC a lot, but now in the UFC, I've noticed that most champions, the best, they're all Dagestani. They're all like
Yeah.
Russian, slightly slanted
Yeah.
eyes, Muslim, like
Yeah.
heavy Muslim, and every one of them, and this will sound maybe a little racist, every one of them looks like if the Taliban of Afghanistan decided to start doing wrestling and jujitsu.
Yeah.
Like it's if Osama bin Laden was 20 now, I don't think he would join ISIS. I think he would go to
No.
Dagestan and become a wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
It's a
all
lot. It's
are
a
like,
more
oh,
noble pursuit than terrorism.
yeah, you can say
Yeah.
that. You're like, I will win against the West, but this is how I'm gonna win. This is how I'm gonna conquer the West. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
through terrorism. I'm just gonna terrorize their most alpha males. I'm gonna show them that my religion
Yeah.
is better than theirs by winning over the most manly, strongest human beings they have. Thank God we have weapons, dude. Thank God America
Mhm.
is the biggest military in the world. Because if it was just hand-to-hand combat, we'd all be having beards with shaved mustaches and we'll be Muslim in Dagestan. They're terrifying.
Yeah, no. Yeah, thank God.
You know, like how everything becomes. Oh,
Look at Claire.
that's love.
I didn't even ask for this. It's so
That's so cute. That's nice. Aw, what is this? Is this wine?
How did she read my mind? Yeah, some more wine.
You
Sorry.
know how?
Sorry for interrupting.
It's okay. You know how everything becomes entertainment eventually?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is what's happening now with the UFC because 30 years ago it was America versus Russia, the Cold War. And then
Yeah.
we went to Afghanistan. We fought the Taliban, men with beards and who shaved their mustache. And now it's the same thing. Americans fighting Muslims, but it's entertainment.
I
It's
know.
the UFC. Ooh, it's a
Yeah.
challenge. It's fun. It's everything
I know.
becomes entertainment.
Same with boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, boxing's that
Rocky.
now.
Rocky. Remember Rocky? Rocky, the biggest boxing
Yeah.
movie in history. American man fighting Draco, which is the most Russian thing ever. Everything becomes
know.
entertainment, which is good. Less people die. I wonder
Less
when
people die.
Yeah. I wonder when the war in the Middle East is gonna become entertainment. What should they do? Like shisha competition?
Shisha. It's like the Bake Off, but they're
Hummus?
like putting shisha,
Yeah.
like the great British, the great Palestinian shisha stuffing. Whatever.
Mahmoud versus David. Who makes the best double apple shisha? In we need a name
That's
for
not
it.
bad.
Yeah. Like when will we stop killing each other and just use it to become entertainment? Maybe like a Middle Eastern idol and have like an Israeli versus a Palestinian? Huh? Go with music?
It must be that already. They must have that. They for sure must have that, right? I'd imagine.
I don't know. I don't know if Arabs think against Jews. I don't know. How about this? Hummus competition. Okay, but what do Arabs and Jews have in common? Overbearing mothers. We can have like slippers, a slipper
That's
throwing
good.
competition. Israel
Slip
versus
off.
Palestine.
Do they play soccer?
A slip off. Oh, soccer. Yeah. I don't know if Palestinians can afford shoes now. So I don't know if soccer, but slippers.
It's true. Dude.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude,
Yeah, a
soccer is on everywhere here. I'm upset. Like, I'm not obsessed. I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, it's pretty interesting. Like, it's not bad. Like, I like it because there's no commercials. It's like a movie almost. It just like it's like it's not like a movie. It's like watching the ocean a little bit. It's just like back and forth. It's like hypnotic. It's just you don't see the players. They're like this big, and you just see them running and then going like that. I don't know what's going on. I'm like so odd. It's like slow but like relaxing.
It's like watching the waves crash on the shore and then retreat, and it's zen football.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about it that way. That's so smart, bro. Oh my God, drink more
Yeah.
wine. Look at you, enlightened, drunken Buddha. Look at you, my drunken Buddha. Ah.
And then
Yeah, listen.
and then
Yeah,
rugby. They're
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I was about to say let's
What were you
let's. I want to hang out with you. That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I'll be in Montreal, but rugby is there's this big competition
Tsunami.
going on called the six. Yeah, this it's like, but it's the six nations. It's like England versus Italy versus France versus Ireland and Wales, I think, and then maybe another country. But it's like it's like football or like sorry, it's like soccer because it just goes straight through, but it's it's like real. It's so intense. They're like flying into each other, and it's so technical. It's like they do sports good here. Like it's almost like they're like it's meant to watch. Like you're actually entertained watching the actual sport. I used to be so bored watching sports. I'd be like, this sucked. Like
Which
even
sports?
hockey would stop.
Yeah. Yeah, hockey
It
stops
would
a
just
lot.
stop.
Yeah.
But this is like I could watch 10 minutes of something and it doesn't stop. It's like that rules, and then I'll turn away from it, like, but then you watch hockey, you watch like a minute, you're like, okay, that's done. Football, you watch 10 seconds. Baseball, it's gay. It's terrible. It's the same. Like I
Get
can watch
outta
tennis
here.
even though I don't know what's going on.
You don't like?
Like, I can
I
watch
thought you would
tennis.
love baseball. Baseball is all about getting drunk and eating peanuts and hot dogs.
I
That's
know.
literally your
Maybe-
career.
Maybe in person. So I was talking to this dude that Claire's friend's husband, coolest dude ever. He's like, I'm gonna take you to a cricket match, and I'm like, cricket match? What the hell, cricket match? And he's like, it's the best. All you do is you hang out, you drink, and you hang out in the sun, and it's sunny, and you just talk, and it's just the best, and you're around a bunch of cool maniacs. I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty fun, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Dude, you should definitely go watch a football game like live just to feel the
Yeah.
energy. And then you should definitely go watch cricket. And by the way, when you go watch a football game in those like 60,000 seaters, remember
Yeah.
that when the Rolling Stones play that stadium, that
Yeah.
whole stadium are just coming to see four guys play music.
Wow.
Like look at all the people.
That's crazy.
Add people sitting in the terrain, and they're all there to see the Rolling Stones. Because when I went to see the Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
I went in a big stadium, 80, 90,000 people.
Jeez.
And we all came to see
Whoa.
the Rolling Stones. And they're this
Yeah.
big. This is Mick Jagger. You ready? And even
Yeah.
this
Start me up.
is sexier than I've ever been in my entire life. This. You know the movie Downsize
little
or whatever
man.
it's called? What's that movie, Downsize?
Yeah. Yeah, the
With
small
Matt,
Matt Damon
uh,
movie. He's like a small
Yeah,
guy.
small Matt Damon. So if Mick Jagger was this size, he would get laid
Yeah.
more than you and me combined. With like grown women.
Whoa. For
Grown
sure.
women would have sex with this size Mick Jagger years before they fuck us. That's how sexy he is. Even when he's this big, he's the sexiest thing that's ever lived on stage. You could see his hips moving, and a woman be like, "Ooh, I want those hips." He would just jump on a clit.
He's all little.
He would just do this. He would just do this on a clit, and he would make women come. Oh, it's just
That's
Michael
hilarious.
Jackson, another great. He would just moonwalk on a woman's clit, and he would make her come. Hee hee.
Oh, that's
Woohoo.
hilarious.
You rock my world. That's how sexy
Oh, that's
these men
hilarious.
are. It's my God.
Oh. That's funny.
How long have you been recording? So she's healthier than me. This lady I've been dating, she's way healthier
Oh,
than me. Yeah, she's healthy. She takes care of. She
okay.
eats properly and stuff. And I realize it's important to hang out with people who are healthier than you because they help you
Yeah.
calibrate your feelings. I'll explain.
Mm-hmm.
So after shisha, we're like, ooh, let's go eat poutine. I know this great poutine place in Ville Saint Laurent, best poutine in Montreal. So we ordered poutine and we're eating poutine, and it's delicious poutine. And she's like,
Okay.
oh, my stomach hurts. I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, my intestines hurt. I'm like, yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have eaten. I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, I feel bad. I'm like, yeah, but you're supposed to. Like, this is how I feel every time I eat. But for her, that's not normal. For her, that's a
No.
terrible feeling. And that's she needs to, like, oh my God, I can't do this every day. I'm like, but this is, yeah, you feel bad. You feel like it's part of, like, oh, I'm not supposed to feel like it. It blew my mind that
No, just-
this feeling should be very rare.
Mm.
So it helps you
no,
calibrate.
that's yeah. No, you're not supposed to feel bad after eating something that's supposed to keep you alive. You're supposed to like a food isn't supposed to give you like what alcohol makes you feel. Like
Well, you see, that's your vice. Your vice is alcohol.
yeah,
My vice is food.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not mouth. You don't drink for the taste. You drink for the feeling, right? Like the
Yeah.
present feeling.
The feeling, and then I like well, I'm not getting tipsy off this. I'm only having like the smallest glass of wine. I like the taste. I like it gives me a slight little buzz. But now I'm not like people are like, if you're not drinking to get drunk, then what's the point? Like I don't like getting drunk. I like feeling like the slight, like the little, like the nut, like the ba. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like the taste of wine and I like the taste of some
Really?
beers, but
You
it
like
is
the
the
taste?
feeling.
You like the taste of wine and
Yeah.
beer? Really?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's people out there that make whole careers on like, sir, this is the Cabernet Sauvignon de la Blanchette, and they're like,
Here's my theory. Yeah, that's fake. It's acquired.
Yeah.
The only liquid.
no, well,
No,
Yeah.
because here's the thing. Here's my thought. If you like something, you don't drink it. Okay? I like let's see, what do I like? I like croissant, okay? I love croissant. When I eat
Yeah.
a croissant, I don't go
you don't savor?
I
Ah,
just
okay.
want more of it in my mouth. If you like something, you don't drink it slowly because if you drink too much, it doesn't taste good. No. No. Water, when you're thirsty, you're like, ah.
Yes.
No, I think it's acquired. I
But
think it's the
wine,
feeling.
you are. Yeah, dude. I don't know, cause I've had like when I was in France, I had some sick wine that was absolutely delicious, paired with some cheese, where it's like the guy was like, "This cheese works perfect with this," and you're like, "Bang!" And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, and then, yeah,
Pairing. Pairing makes sense because you're tasting. It's like you have a new taste, but you gotta mix it. You gotta mix it. I think it's acquired. Maybe I'm wrong. But when I like something, I want to put it all in my mouth. I don't want to sip it slowly. That doesn't
Really?
make sense for me. But maybe I'm wrong.
Depends. If I'm at a buffet, I'll eat a ton of crap, But if I only have one bottle, like I'm not gonna go like like I'm just gonna drink it slowly throughout a whole
Maybe
night
my
or something,
Yeah, maybe because I'm comparing two different vices, like food. Food, you just want to. You can't just eat a little of something. It's
Mhm.
just you want to feel the taste in your mouth. You want the crunchiness, the texture. But I guess maybe booze, you
Mhm.
want to sip slowly. Okay. All right.
But if it's
okay.
a beer and it's like a hot day, I'll chug a beer. But that's why when we went,
Oh,
let's say when
really?
we went to do that live podcast, when we went to the live podcast in the park, right? You were like, "Look,
Yeah.
come on, let's chug, chug, chug," and I'm like, "Man, I don't chug. Like I have like." But then, like, you get drunk enough, you're like, "Yeah, let's chug." You make bad decisions at that point. You make
For
you
me,
know?
booze. Yeah, for me, booze is just to get to that level of bad decisions, where you say, Let's have 12 hot dogs. Let's do ketamine. Let's just, let's just
Do
that
some
whole
zins.
feeling, That's the best part. Let's listen to music and just dance the whole night. There's no pleasure. That's the only pleasure. Is
I hate that part of drinking. The craziness. I like the subtle, not like the mundane part. Just like, it's nice.
Who
Like
are
I'm
you?
a very.
Who are you? I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Oh yeah.
Who are you?
No,
Gabe.
because that's painful. That's painful.
Yeah, but for the 10 years that I've known you, that's the only way you drank around me. Is like, let's go. And now you're older, and you're like, ooh, I just want a little buzz. Listen to jazz.
I do.
Ooh, little buzz. Listen to jazz.
No.
That's my girlfriend.
Just like, especially if you're like working all day, and then you come home after a set or whatever, you just want to like put on the worst TV for an hour, and then have like a glass of wine.
You're becoming an adult, Gabe. You're becoming an adult. That's what's happening.
But then again, I'm gonna go to. Also, I'm very performative, and also I used to self-medicate. Like especially like back in the day, we would go to McLean's. I would be anxious, so I would just drink a ton of beer, and then I would have fun, and then I'd be drunk, and I'd be like, yeah, and then everybody was just wasted. It was just like a den of bad behavior, Everyone was just in bad behavior mode. So you're just like that was. It's like you become your environment at a certain point, right?
Oh, well, not really. Because I never joined you guys. I never got.
But like 98% of people did. It was like like everybody else did.
You know why? Because my anxiety was
an
anxiety of failure. So I'm like, I didn't know that booze. I didn't drink that much, so I didn't know booze elevated the sphere of failure. So it was my lack of knowledge of booze that helped me. Because I saw you guys drunk. I'm like, I don't want to be that. You guys look like degenerates. I know. I want to be a professional. So I got lucky that I didn't know booze was so awesome. But now I know. Now I know booze is awesome. Dude, oh my God. You know what I learned? And it blew my mind away. They say, let's say you have a big presentation, or in our case, a big show. If you don't want to drink, but you want to get like a little effect, you should take a Tylenol. Because Tylenol acts like a blood thinner, which is what alcohol does. So it releases a little bit of anxiety. So now, before a big show, you know what I'm doing? I'm popping a Tylenol.
No
Pop a
way.
Tylenol. I feel more loose. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Life is good. Yeah. Did you know that?
That's never heard that. No, I did not know that. That's interesting. Damn,
That's
Tylenol.
real knowledge, by the way. REEL. That's not REAL. I don't know if it's true. That's REEL. Real knowledge.
Yeah.
I saw
don't know.
video, and I'm like, I saw a reel. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna apply it to my life, and I did, and honestly, it works. I'm more. You're not better. You're not funnier.
Nice.
But I felt more loose. I felt like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah. You should
Sweet.
try it
That's sick.
for your next
I don't
headline
have any
gig.
other tips. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be, it's funny, like I do this show and everyone's like, cool, do you want to do this other show? And I'm like, nope, I'm in Canada. They're like, oh, okay. Well, I'm like, you book it in
No,
May?
that will
They're
make-
we'll get the next guy.
I think it just makes you more in demand. I think it makes you more in demand. It depends how you want to look at it. It's not good, it's not bad. It's how you look at something, right? So I think it just makes you look. In my opinion, it makes you more look in demand. Okay, he has shows in. They don't know that you're coming here to kiss your mommy's cheek and and do your hungry guy. They don't know. They think you're a touring comedian. Anyways, all right. We call it quit.
Yeah, we're in an hour.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Come watch the live show, guys. April 1st. We're so excited. It's going to be a big
1st.
one. April 1st, Tuesday. And then you can sing for the comedy show
damn it.
afterwards. So, yeah, guys, April 1st, come to the show if you're listening. If you made it all the way to the end, come to the show. It's going to be a big one. We're going to make some announcements. And, So we love you guys. I love you, Eugene. I love you, Gabe. Love you, buddy. All right, bye, everybody. Bye.
Gabriel's ass bleach brighter than heaven. Amber's been on a watch list since 9/11. Yeah, come and get your laughs on the Good Night Podcast. Yeah.